Okay, so the countdown timer has done the job, and time for us actually to do something very interesting. Today we are going to play on chess24.com, something for a change. So welcome to Vaidya's Chess Hub. And before we actually go ahead and play those games, I want to share something interesting with you. Yesterday, I was thinking about the games that I played, and I was wondering if I really took a lot of liberties against the players. Well, turns out not quite. Yesterday, I what I did after the show, after the live thing, is I went on leeches and assessed if I took a lot of liberties. Turns out only Saumitra can say that I really took a lot of liberties against him. A lot. But apart from Saumitra, the other players really did not do anything much there. So yesterday you thought I was trolling, but that was not enough. I will tell you why. Here are some important statistics. Very important. Watch this. I'm sure that you are listening to this ever so carefully. What happened was the following. Well, against Sanchit, I will tell you player wise. Look at the data. You can check this on leeches. I was really wondering if I really took a lot of liberties only against Saumitra, and especially I remember that game where there was a spawn storm. Really, did I take serious liberties? I mean, that was a little too much, overstretched. But apart from that, here is an important piece of data. So watch this. Against Sanchit, I played 2 games. I won 1 game. Okay, so equal ratio. Against Kunal, I played 2 games. I won both. Against Vihang. Now, Vihang, if you are here, we played 4 games yesterday. I beat you 3 times. I don't think I was trolling you enough. I should have, but I did not. And still you thought that there was some punishment. We played 4 times. Next was against Samartha, I believe. Against Samartha, same like Sanchit. We played twice and I won 1. So the score was evenly balanced. I played 1 and second one I took liberty. So that's okay. Against Ankit, I believe Ankit was playing on his mobile, I believe. So played just 1 game, I won that. Then against Chinmay, I played just 1 game. Against Saurish, I played 2 games, had 1.5 out of 2. So only against Saumitra, I will accept that I did a lot of trolling. I did it. I appreciate what I did because I wanted to experience the finish, and that's an important quality. But apart from that, the other scores to not justify the trolling. I should have done it more. Of course, the next time I will not do that. But the point is that I did not do it enough. So I'm sure that you've understood the point here. Very, very important. Sahil is challenging. Well, Sahil, you're playing a tournament for the first time. I probably have to give him a feedback later. He is a new admission, so we'll have to teach him. And Arya is the early leader, which is fantastic. Keep me posted, guys. Keep me posted with what's happening. And at the moment, well, what's going to happen is we are going to switch to chess24.com. This is what it is. And I believe I have a friend request, this time from Vihang. I'm going to confirm that. I know Vihang 7 for sure. Fantastic. Now here the only thing is that we have limited options. The time controls, as you can see, this is just 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute, and then a 30-minute option, and then an hour plus 30-second increment. So I will go for this 30-minute. The other thing you have to remember is that there is no arrow facility, so I cannot, unfortunately, I cannot draw arrows on chess24.com. That's a serious issue. They don't allow that. Also, we also love those alpha pieces with wooden board. Here there are only 2 boards available. Those who have ID on chess24.com know this. So there is no possibility of improvement in settings, just typical settings that we get on chess24. Okay, once we get back to Lichess, of course we have our own settings, but on chess24 the settings are limited. That's again an important thing that you must remember. Meanwhile, you all should keep posting the tournament related details, and I will also make sure that this feedback is added to the other feedback which will happen for the Friday's tournament as well. So you will get the feedback together. Meanwhile, Kunal is requesting a match with classical time control. For me, it is impossible to play after the show immediately a classical game. I don't do that. But one of my students can do that. So if Samartha, Sanchit, Vihang, if any one of you wants to play 15 plus 15 with him on Lichess, go ahead and do that. We all know Kunal's ID. Yesterday we saw that. So you should play with Kunal. Anyone who is free at any time, now you can communicate and Kunal can play a game. Sahil once again is challenging everybody, but he is new. Allow him to play the tournament. It is his first day with the hub today. First day. So allow him and let's get started with our action. Finally, we get underway. Let's see. I will have to adjust the board settings as well. So when the game shows up, I'll have to, well, okay, now this is horrible. There are coordinates on every square. I think I'll have to do something about that. So let me go to my profile. It asked me to leave the game. No, I don't want to leave the game. I guess we will have to bear with this for the moment. Sad. There are, OMG, there is a number. The coordinates are on every square. I think I can change the settings there. I definitely can. So this looks like the main line. My rating on chess24.com is 1903. For the moment, it is that way. So again here, I think the interesting choice for us is to go for this pawn capture. I will wait for him to take on e5 with his f pawn, and he has done that. Well, I think that is a mistake. Let's see what happens now. Can I take the bishop out first? I think I can do that. He wants the open f file. We are playing with the board showing coordinates on each square. I cannot change the settings while I am in the game. I am told that I'll have to leave the game. So guys, kindly cooperate. I want to play bishop h4 check. If I am allowed to do that, it will be good. Bishop h4 check is good. And he has allowed us that. The check is definitely on. And I have made a pre-move. So if he takes my bishop, I'll take with the queen. And I think I can be happy then. But he has chosen not to do so. And he has played g3, which definitely I don't mind. I'll have to come back. Let's put in a lot of thought in the moves today. A lot of thoughts. He still has castle. And I think so will I. Our opponent is 1785 on chess24.com. Mind you, the point is that on different chess sites, guys, on different chess sites, you have different levels of play. So on chess.com, you will find that there are more players who are actually tournament players, then Leechess, and then chess24.com. So the rating levels, what is 2300 at Leechess, chess.com could be 2000, and on chess24 somewhere in between. So that is how you should look at the ratings. On all the sites, you cannot just say that whatever is 1900 here is the same on chess.com. There is a small difference. Please keep that in mind. It is very important, guys. So our opponent has played the move a3, which probably means that he wants to control b4 and maybe then push c4 himself. I don't mind pushing c5 first. Also, I wonder if now this is the time where I exchange the bishop, but I will so wait for this move knight bd2, and I'm sure he will do that at some stage. And then there is knight e3, which is a fork. So remember that in such games, what happens is that this e3 square is critical. This knight can jump on this e3 square, and that will be a good fork if this knight comes on d2. If he plays knight bd2, that is. It's a very important thing to note. I might just go ahead and play c5. I'm just thinking about whether it is the right time to exchange the bishops, or should I go ahead and play bishop h3 so that I can bring the rook to the e1 square or to the f2 square or somewhere. I think that will be a good move. That will give me definite initiative. So I will definitely play bishop h3 first. That helps me gain control on the g2 square as well. Can I make this board a little bigger for you guys? I will try. Is this helping, guys? The board is bigger now for you. So we have the rook now on to the f2 square. I don't want to play knight c6 and lock the pawn on c7 behind it. Therefore, I think c5 will make more sense right now. Is any of my piece hanging? This bishop is, but it's not attacked and it is not in any way in danger. Looks okay here. I am told that in the tournament of the hub, Rayansh has become the early leader, which is fantastic. Which is just fantastic. Okay, now this is something interesting. Our opponent has played b4. I guess we can take, let's look at the capture either side, on the either side. So we can play c takes b4 or c takes d4. Those are the choices. We also have knight c6 if we want the pawn to come to b5. Will it be uncomfortable for us? If we take, then he probably will take with the a pawn, giving the rook the open file. We don't want to go that way. I guess we can take on d4 and then we can try a5. Seems like that's a good idea. Let's do that. And also the other thing important is that this bishop can come on g4, pinning the knight, and then knight c6 will look even more ominous. Here there is no increment. We must remember that there is no increment here. Kunal, my dear, what are you doing? Don't issue challenges right now. After our stream, you can issue the challenges. So Kunal, after the stream, not now. All right. Now let us look at our options here. This diagonal is definitely, the a1 h8 diagonal is definitely weak for him. His king is not super safe or something. Now our knight looks good here on d5. Suddenly that knight has become a great piece for us. No issues. Knight b d7 just looks okay here instead of knight c6. At the moment, knight b d7 and then the knight to b6 can be a very good deal for us. At some stage we might push f6. I'm not saying necessarily now. This rook can come to c8 square. And if we want to strictly follow the initiative and tempo, a5 does look good. I'm just thinking, what if he just pushes the pawn to b5? Would that be okay for us? And then we play queen b6, he plays a4. Is that possible? So a lot of things here to calculate. Position at the moment is absolutely brilliant for us, no problem. Jay, thanks for the update. I hope Kunal stopped challenging people. Kunal, you should watch the stream here. Watch this game. Later, you can play with your friends. But at the moment, let's finish this. This job at hand. I think knight b d7 is just okay for the moment. Can't think of anything much for this particular position. The hanging piece is still the bishop on h3. And as long as we control g5, there is no problem. Now he has played bishop to f1. I certainly don't want to exchange that. In fact, what I want to do is to pin the knight. Certainly I don't want that bishop exchanged. That's a good bishop. That's a very good bishop. I don't want that exchanged. No, I don't want that exchanged. So I'm going to drop it here to g4, pinning the knight. It's a relative pin. People say that you can toggle board size here. So let us go back to the way we were. Let us bring it to 100% the way it was. So this is the way I think it was. And now let me try this toggle board size. Now, but this one is too huge. Ha! This one is so huge. It does not even accommodate. I think there are only two sizes here. So I think what we were doing is pretty much okay here. So Mitra, the choices they have offered, I think what we had is perfect. The point there is that it gets so big that you cannot fit in the board perfectly. Anyway, for the moment, back to what our opponent has done. So bishop has been questioned. What do you want to do, sir? But the thing is, I don't want to unpin the knight. So I am okay to go back a little bit and continue the pin. So if he wants to weaken his king further, I think now, come on, king is super exposed here. The word is super exposed. Avdut has lost to Srinath. That's the update. Having time left 4:40. Unbelievable. So we will definitely include that in the feedback, guys. Don't worry about it. We'll definitely have that in the feedback. So now the knight is not pinned anymore. That is why he did everything possible there. But I think now we are going to go for the rook c8 move, getting control of the open c file. Looks good. The bishop is the only piece hanging for the moment, but again it is not attacked. And there is no scope for it being taken for free. So we are mindful of our hanging pieces here. Avdut actually, if he lost the way Vihang is saying, well then Avdut, you have not done your job, man, because you were on the podium. You were the one to finish with a prize. I believe only a day, I believe it was yesterday. Yes, yesterday. So then to go ahead and actually lose in that manner is not justifying things. So no, man, that's not fair. Now I think here we have a very good idea in mind. What we can do is probably go for bishop g5 with the idea of bishop e3 pinning the rook with the knight support. And if knight takes, then queen takes, and then still it's a very, very interesting idea with the queen lined up with the king. And if necessary, the rook can always come in handy. Well, I like that idea because that is with the immediate force. That is with immediate force. The other idea could be the knight goes to b6 and then jumps to c4 with the help of the rook. But that will take 2 moves. And I don't want him to be able to come in the game so soon. Yeah, let's go for the immediate threat. So the immediate threat now for the opponent is bishop e3, pinning the rook. Will he get there? Is he calculating? He's playing fast. He has 24 minutes on the clock. And somebody should tell Avdut that the way sir is playing is I have lesser time than my opponent. Every Wednesday this happens. The intention is that my students should learn that time is so important. So important. Guys, Avdut really should not have done this. The way Vihang is saying that Avdut lost with 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. It's a 5+3 game. So that is sad. Being a winner of the tournament, he was on the podium. So should not have done that. There should be consistency in play. Like I consistently use my time if I'm playing classical. Or even 5+3 for that matter. Play slowly. The one good thing Vihang you have done is no berserks are allowed. That was excellent. Let me know if you made that setting or if it's a by default setting. Let me know. No berserk were allowed. And also there was a nice message in the tournament. Give your best, all the best. Use your thinking time. There was a message. Vihang, did you type that message? That was really nice. Something that I enjoyed. When I looked at the entry page, I was very impressed. Okay, so our opponent has played the rook to d2. So clearly we definitely have control over this f3 square now. f3, yes, f3 square. I think we can double the rooks here. Yeah, we can double the rooks. Or maybe now it's the right time to go for this maneuver. So we have 2 good moves here. Either we double the rooks on the c file, or we go for knight 7 b6 and then knight c4. Both the moves are incredibly interesting. And at the moment, let us not forget that we immediately have knight e3. The only problem I see with that is what if our opponent plays h4. Notice this knight can go to e3 with the queen support and then this fork, or at least winning the exchange if rook is given for this knight. So that looks good for the moment. This knight can go to e3 and then to c2. The only problem is after knight goes to e3 and then if our opponent pushes h4, because the queen is the only one supporting the knight, then do we still play the knight to c2? No, because then rook can sacrifice and pawn will take the queen. So we will have to play something like queen to h6. It's the only concern. Otherwise my first thought was definitely on knight to e3, but then notice this. I'm sure you're enjoying this, guys. This h4 that can happen. So let's see now. The rook doubling idea is really fascinating me for the moment. It is incredibly good, that idea. Let's do that. So Kunal is going to get a game with Vihang. Vihang just said that he will be playing with Kunal. Kunal, fantastic. Let me know after the game. Vihang probably will be a senior player for you at the moment, but give your best. After all, don't forget Kunal finished second last Friday, I believe. This Friday, Omkar sir will be there with you guys. I look forward to your games. But the idea of this knight 7 b6 and then c4 is that after bishop takes it, the rook would go to c4 and then the rooks could be doubled. That was my plan. Yes, the knight can be taken here on c4, but then it would have meant that the rook would have taken and then the rook on f8 would have joined the action. That is what I was saying. Now this is not a plan at all. This is not a plan at all. I'll tell you the reason. The reason is that this pawn is pinned. So even if our opponent wants to, he cannot take the bishop. So that's not a real threat. So I guess we should stop entertaining such moves and we should rather focus our energy on doubling our rooks. Systematic play here. Yes, this is absolutely systematic. I don't think there is any reason for us. Can the queen be attacked? No. If he pushes h4, I can take the pawn. And that is why I feel that this seems to be the right move here. Is it not? The thing is, then we will also gain access to c3. c3 will be controlled by the knight. c3 will be controlled with the rook. And c3 will also be controlled with this rook when it comes on the c8 square. So fantastic opportunity for us to double the rook. So we will definitely double this. Let's see. The idea now is to gain access on the c3 square. It looks great at the moment, I must say. And I'm not sure if we can sacrifice bishop for 2 pawns on the next move. Not this move, the next move, that is. I have made a note of the feedback, Vihang. So thank you so much for sharing that. I will definitely make a note of all of this. And you can also, seniors can also share information with me on the WhatsApp group as well. So what happens is, whatever the seniors will say, for example, the way Vihang you told me that Avdut had so much of time to spare, I will study those games and then we will prepare a feedback for the young guns. What a good name we got for today's tournament. I'm sure you're happy with that. We got a lovely name, the young guns of the hub, which will in future become our champions. And by the way, Saumitra, let me know, is Vishy Anand playing against Magnus Carlsen today in the Chess Legends tournament? Is that today? Let me know. That should be something to watch out for. Let me know if that's the case. Is Vishy playing against Magnus Carlsen? Well, that should be one game that I don't want to miss. He has played queen to e4. Now, is that a blunder? Is that, I'm saying, is that a blunder? I'm not sure, but is that a blunder? Has he allowed us infinite access now to whatever we want to do? OMG, right? Now, for example, the one move that captures my imagination is the move bishop to g6 and then maybe controlling b1 as well. We also have knight to f4. Every move looks good here to me. Every move looks good here to me. But at least bishop g6 immediately looks good because that queen has to retreat, has to go back. There is no two-way about it. Also, I would have played f5, but there's an en passant possibility. So I don't want to push f5 immediately here. Okay. Let's see. I always, guys, like playing the moves that are forcing. I always love a sequence which forces something. And mind you, bishop g6 has another merit. Bishop g6 actually takes control of b1 and b1 is the only defender of this rook, if you can see here. That is why I will go ahead and play that. Otherwise, and now you see that not one piece is hanging for us here, except for the queen herself. But it's not attacked clearly. And he has no scope of playing queen f4 and queen e3. Those squares are taken. And now we have a very nice knight e3. He has gone to g2 because now g2 supports this rook on d2. So that surely is the case. That has happened. But knight f4 looks strong now. Is that okay? Now knight f4 or knight e3 or knight c3 even, or maybe a move like rook c1, bishop takes c1, rook takes, but that bishop is not pinned for the moment, so that would not be so wise. Knight e3 certainly looks great. Knight e3 I think wins on the spot for us. Knight e3 makes the queen move again. But talk of forcing moves, well, that is one forcing move. We can get the bishop or the queen and then everything is exposed. Systematic indeed. Very systematic indeed. The queen is attacked here, so that's the first thing. Now this, by the way, let me teach you a nice terminology, guys. The bishop on b2 is said to have a blunt diagonal. The bishop on b2, guys, is said to have a blunt diagonal. A blunt diagonal because there are pawns on d4 and e5 square. I repeat, there are two pawns, the same diagonal, so the diagonal of the bishop has become blunt. That is how you say that. The bishop on b2 has a blunt diagonal. As usual, we are down on time here, but I think I'm happy with our position. It's a winning position. We've played well. Also, let me know if you agree that on chess.com, the rating change is bigger than Lichess or chess.com. What's your experience? How many of you play on chess24.com? Let me know. Is it the case? Is the rating difference or the change more drastic? If you have any experience on chess24, let me know. Alright, so he has played the queen to f3. Queen to f3. Now, by the way, look at the calculation part here. Knight takes bishop, attacking the rook, so definitely has to take it. If the queen takes it, then there are chances of getting this pin idea going, okay? Everything is looking great for us, at least for the moment. Great ideas going. Now the free rook idea can be based on bishop taking the knight, which is a tactical idea. The knight takes bishop first. Will that work? Does that save the rook, or is it gone for all intents and purposes? So knight takes bishop should happen first, otherwise there is no way queen can take the rook. So knight takes bishop first, then doesn't matter with what he takes, which I already said is the most forcing thing. Then bishop just smashes the defender b1 and then queen can take on d2. Well, that looks like an obvious thing. So let's go ahead and do this. Knight takes on f1 first. A proper explanation here. So Kunal, Ankit, well Ankit, yesterday were you playing on mobile, man? I wanted to ask you that question because yesterday your connection was showing only one line, was showing that the network was very poor. Yesterday, Ankit, when you were playing with me, were you having a poor connection, Ankit? Well, that's nice. So king has taken it, so we can continue with the idea. Now the rook is definitely hanging. Is there any counter play? We always have to watch that, guys. No, right? There is no counter play. No, I think we'll go ahead and do that. because now the next move is queen takes d2. So attacking the queen or something like that, deflection will not work. I think we have played this game well with proper ideas. And now this is again Kunal. On Friday, I remember, rather on Sunday, Kunal Gupta. Let me talk to Kunal Gupta. Kunal Gupta, on Sunday, I told you one important thing. Use your time. Don't play fast. I told you, Kunal, don't play fast, Kunal. So here in this game, you see our opponent has 18 minutes. We have 9 minutes at the moment. So he has double the time, double what we have. But I guess we have a winning position here. That's why I always say, in chess, time is so important. So when you play on Friday, Kunal, play slowly. I hope I've made my point. Kunal, type yes if you heard that and if you understood that. So he saved the rook. Isn't that? What is that? Why? Now let's try to find something here. Well, the idea is very simple, guys. Our friend wants to take on f7. Wants to take on f7. Whoa. He wants to take on f7. Is that a tough thing? He wants to take on f7. We have a check. That will be on d3, but the queen's controlling that. Queen c1, bishop takes. Rook c1, bishop takes c1, rook takes check. King as a shelter, so that's not an immediate threat. Well, I guess we will have to go with bishop to g6. Simple and straightforward. After this, I intend to play rook c2, by the way. I'm telling my intentions. Jay, thanks for the update. Radhesh versus Purvesh. Should play slowly. Okay, Rupak has asked a question on WhatsApp to me, guys. Why is Sriram playing when his ID is 1205? Let me explain that. Rupak, what must have happened is, at the start of the tournament, Sriram's rating must be under 1200. That's why Leeches allowed him to play. But during the tournament, it's a rated tournament, right? So during the tournament, he has crossed 1200. So then you cannot suddenly be stopped from playing this tournament. Understand that, Rupak. Have you understood that, Rupak? At the start of the tournament, he must have definitely had a rating under 1200. During the course of the tournament, he must have crossed 1200. So maybe the next time Leeches won't allow him. So our opponent has played rook e1. The bishop is doing a fantastic job, and I think rook c2 is definitely called for because the bishop on b2 is hanging 100%, guys. He wants probably to play rook e2, rook 1 e2 after that. I think that is what he wants to do. That is what he wants to do, I feel. But I think still in any case, rook c2 is so tempting. Just too good there. Bishop is doing the job. Let's go ahead and do this. So I have already done my pre-move here. If rook takes rook, then rook takes rook. I wouldn't be so much worried about my b7 pawn here, guys, at the moment. Our b7 pawn is not much of, a value at the moment. At least the position is wide open. Of course, we don't even have a back rank threat because there is a knight f8. I think I like our position with knight f8 as well. There's this defense available on the back rank. That's nice. Thanks for Hitesh's update. So Rupak, there you have it. There you have it. Rupak, did you understand? At the start of the tournament, Sriram's rating was 1198. That's why Leeches allowed him. And now during the tournament, he has crossed 1200. That is why Vihang's filter did not apply. Next time he will not be able to play if his rating is over 1200. Rest assured. And now our opponent has also doubled up his rooks. This should be interesting. We have to look for good ways to finish this game now. There must be good things here in order to finish this game. Thanks for the update, Vihang. So Prajna is offering draws, huh? And now we have 6 minutes, guys. He is not in any kind of a back rank threat, guys. Otherwise, rook c1 sacrifice would have just been wonderful. That bishop controls the c3 square, and at the moment bishop d3 doesn't pin the rook because queen is controlling that for the moment. So I am thinking of exchanging here, or maybe going for h5 first. How about that? h5, rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, and bishop takes. So the rook is definitely covered here. I don't see an issue with that. The rook's definitely covered. Exchanging will help in a way. Rook takes, we can take with the bishop. Rook takes is better. Somehow I feel h5 is also so wonderful. We have 5 minutes now. Allow him the exchange. Allow him the exchange. Okay. The back rank has to be thought of 100%, guys. The back rank has to be thought of here. The knight has a very wonderful square by virtue of, I think by virtue of e3. Now bishop takes here is not a wise idea because of queen takes f7. So we have to take with the rook here. Have to. And now we have to take. Now will he take this pawn on b7? Is that what he wants to do? Queen takes b7? Does he want to do that? Really, his king is so exposed, and clearly if he takes this, he'll be at a loss. The knight is surely going to d5 after this. The bishop again is very blunt. As I said, d4 and e5, the bishop is very blunt. Thanks for the updates, Jay. Hello, Insaner. Where were you? I got your hi earlier, but after a long time you seem to say hi. And Purvesh has to use his time. Thanks for the update. He has more time left than at the start of the game. Somehow the message doesn't get delivered. They keep playing hastily, and that's not how you make progress in chess. Even if you lose on time, it's okay, rather than playing something silly. His bishop on b2 is not just blunt, guys. It's also a hanging piece. We have to watch out for that. There could be easy tactics. And now this one was a move that I don't even know what he is up to here. He's just given us the control of c1 square now. c1 square. It's just easily given control of that. I'm definitely going with the move knight d5 as planned. So now the queen doesn't even have this b7 pawn. And my knight has e3 square. My queen has c1 square. Falling apart. Sriram is rightly the leader of the tournament because he's now well over 1200. Pratik, you're not under 1200. Why are you here, Pratik? You're saying hello, sir. It's amazing, is it not, how players at a losing position will think a lot. Now our opponent has decided for some reason that it is a great time to start thinking. There you go. So now our opponent has come to the conclusion that yes, I must start thinking now. Why did he not do that earlier? And now it is for us to just finish this very nicely. I so wished we could have played bishop d3 check. You know what? I so wish that. It's not incremental. So I'm definitely going with the move queen c1. Looks good, queen c1. Knight f4 also looks good. But then I don't want to shadow the queen. Yeah, let's not do that. I think this is okay here. I'm attacking a3, defended by the queen for the moment. The idea is then to play knight f4 if required, so that I have bishop d3. We have to watch out for our back rank, guys. I'm saying this. We have to watch out for our back rank. And yes, we are a little short on time here. Our opponent has played the king to f2. What's with that? Do I just have safety with h6? Should I do that? Or should I set up a discovered threat? Let's do that. Let's set up a discovered threat, guys. Yes, the time is very low now for us, but I'm sure we'll finish this. I'm also getting updates regarding the tournaments. Well, yes, then you have to do that as well. Okay, so we can definitely now play h6. We had the d4 pawn, guys. Yeah, we had the d4 pawn. And now I'll take that, I suppose. And we have the e5 pawn as well now. He doesn't have bishop c3 here because of the knight. Our knight on d5 is nothing but a monster. And king g2 will seal the game here. King g2. King g2, bishop e4. That's it. The game will be done. If king h3, knight f4 check. King g2 is what I am predicting. King g2, bishop e4. If king h3, knight f4 check, then king g2, still bishop e4. And then if king h2, knight can go, it's a discovered check. So knight h4 check. And now if king g2, again bishop e4. He has to fall for that pin, but not g2 anymore because the knight is covering that for the moment, that is. It's a knight check, by the way. And now we have a discovered move wherever we want. Wherever we want. So before we do that, why don't we do this? What will be the best discovered? Let's finish this one. Now he will block it with the bishop, guys. So let's do this. He will block it with the bishop, that check. Very important to understand that. So maybe knight e2 check is better. Now he doesn't have that. So I think now we will go for oh, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. I don't want to exchange the queens. Don't want to do that, guys. I think bishop e3 now. Will he play bishop e3? Double attacking my knight? I think he will do that. Sure. Will he do that? Oh, he didn't do that. I'm surprised. Will he take with the queen? No, he took with the pawn. Nine minutes. Ooh, this is not an incremental game. I'm not going to get any seconds added. I have to be mindful of that fact. Have to. This is a long wait. This is a long wait. Well, there's queen h4. If there is a discovered attack, knight e2, there's queen h4. I thought so. I guess now I didn't have to play that, right? Yeah. Now my next plan will be queen h7 check. And then there is a fork to finish the game. I think queen h7 check was immediately required here. Now queen h7 check is good here. It's just fantastic. Queen h7 check. Too good. I don't think he's going to get that. I should have played that immediately. Yes, now I'll do that. It's queen h7 check. And now he has to forcefully play king g1 and knight e2 check is a fork. Knight e2 wins the queen. He cannot block it with the queen. He has to play king to g1 and knight e2 is a fork. I'm winning this. So there is the fork. My obvious pre-move should be played. Wait, let queen h1 is made. No, not really. So I have the queen now. Let's finish this fast. Now it's just a matter of finishing it fast. I told you queen h1 check was good. The queen h1 check was just super. For one move, let me put every possible piece on the light square, so that his dark color bishop will become useless. Now this is where you need to understand, if the students are listening to this, the dark color bishop is just so useless because everything is in the light colors except for these pawns. I will get this pawn also in the light square if necessary, and this bishop, dark color bishop, only one piece remaining, becomes redundant. So it's now just a matter of finish. Now our opponent is really testing our patience here. So now we have a check. Let's give him some good checks here. I'm sure whatever happens, I want to play this queen here. 1 minute is a little too much I have left now to finish. It's very easy. That queen h7, let me know guys if you got that queen h7. If you like that queen h7 move that I played, that was nice calculation for the fork. And now guys, after playing this, my intention is bishop d3 and e2 mate. I have, if Kunal is watching this, well, this is important. Oh, the tournament updates. Shriram has won the first prize. Bhargav and Anay has come third. Incredible. Incredible. Amazing. So let's do this. The threat is quite simple here. Bishop, queen e2 checkmate. Yes, I think queen d2 here. Maybe. I think it was better if I had played queen g2 first, maybe. Would have really worked wonders. Should have done that. Anyway. I have enough time to finish him here. Congratulations to the winners, the students who finished on the podium. I'm so happy for you. So happy for you. Good students. As a sacrifice, I'll take that. I now have this check. He resigned here. I have won. So guys, I have got 17 points for this game. And now we are 1920. I think even on Leechess, my classical rating is around that region. I don't play much on chess24.com, but it is okay. It is perfectly 7. Let me know now, guys. Let me now know if you are interested in doing tactics, because now even the under 1200 guys can join us. Should we go ahead and do tactics? Let me know, guys. It will be fun. We can extend it for another half an hour. Vihang, let me know if you have a class to attend or whatever it is. Can we go for tactics? Can we go for tactics? And we can go for 3 tactics. Who is the new viewer? Jay has said hi to somebody. Jay, who are you saying hi to? Okay, Subrant's Games Comic. Hi. Now let's go ahead and please allow me. You can continue in the chat. Meanwhile, I'll get the settings done for the leeches tactics. Please be patient. And we will have a dark background as usual. No, light background. Normally we keep it dark, don't we, guys? And the board theme will be the classical one. It's going to be black to play, guys. The first position will be black to play. Let me give you your options with black. Are you interested in playing this check? Are you interested in taking this pawn? Are you interested in doing this? Or are you interested in playing this? Or is it none of these? Guys, none of these always, it's a trick option that I always give you. So let me start your countdown. It is black to play, by the way. Okay, the time is up and the seniors have only Vihang has typed it. Soumitra, again, don't say you need a lot of time. No, there comes Saumitra's answer. So, okay, the seniors have shared their thoughts. Queen e2 seems to be the popular choice. Queen e2 check, then forced king c1, and there is queen e3 check and picking up the rook. So I think picking up the rook is the right idea. And congratulations to all those who said green. And by the way, I guess even Kunal said the green arrow. So congratulations, well done Kunal. By the way, Ankit is missing. I feel he is not answered. Let me go back to leeches and execute the plan. So the idea is the green arrow for sure. And this check works like a fork. So we are going to pick up. Is there a checkmate? No. Fantastic. Well done. Absolutely brilliant. Guys, the next position is also black to play. And here it is. So here, do you want to go ahead and take this bishop? Do you want to go ahead and give this check? Do you want to go ahead and give this check? Or do you want to go ahead and give this check? Or is it none of these? OMG. Is it none of these? That's always one of those meaningful options. Okay, the time is up. What do the seniors say? Where are their answers? Cannot process. Saumitra is saying cannot process. Kshitij Datta, watching on TV, is saying Queen D3 check. Rook E2. Is that forced? Queen E3, E3 check. Queen E3 check. Queen D3 check. Sorry, Queen D3 check. Rook E2. But is that forced? Is that forced, Kshitij? Is that forced? Vihang is saying Queen D3 check. Rook E2 is forced. Yes, because of the rook, is it not? Because of the rook. And after that, because of Rook E2, then Queen H3 check. Then King goes to E1. And then Rook G1 is a skewer. So Saumitra, that's the answer. Datta, you should type the tactical name as well. So very good try. Datta, fantastic. Vihang, fantastic. Saumitra, I'm sure you learned something. But Datta, you should type the name of the tactic. You said we will win the queen. That is right. But type skewer. That's a skewer on the first rank. Sure. So let me go to leeches and show everybody how that is. So Kunal will learn something here. Kunal, red is not the answer. The answer is blue. The blue arrow is correct. So let us see this. The blue arrow is the check. Notice, Kunal, notice with this check, the rook is covering everything. So rook has to come here. And now what will happen is after we give this check, again because of this check, the king has to go here. Okay. So watch this. Kunal, watch this. And now this rook can come here and we will win the queen. Rook g1 check. That's a skewer. This idea is called a skewer. Is there a mate here? Rook check. Datta! Is there a mate there? Do we win the queen or is it checkmate, Datta? Yes. There is a checkmate here. I would have played it and I would have gotten it wrong. The coach has to be alert. Datta, you almost be hung. You almost had me there. The coach has to be careful. OMG. That's not just winning the queen. That's a checkmate. Alright. That's a checkmate there. So what's the checkmate? Let's look at that. Rook check. The queen is covering everything. Let's continue with the blue arrows anyway. So rook check, king c2 and queen d3 is check and mate. And now Soumitra is perfectly telling us that this is in fact what? The dovetail mate. And that is correct. So let's do this. It's a check and mate. I am sure that Kunal, you understood this. Yeah, Datta is saying that I got it earlier but it reached 15 seconds later in the stream. I'll take that. But anyway, it was a very nice position. I have no doubt that even you guys thoroughly enjoyed the position. Fantastic. Fantastic indeed. Well done. Next position then. For the next position, I think it's white to play here. White to play. Let me give you the arrows. We have a passed pawn to take care of. So do you want to take the bishop? Do you want to move the king? Do you want to move the king to c5? Do you want to play the king to e3 or is it none of these? Wow, none of these becomes a serious option here. It is white to play here. Is up, and by the way, the seniors have started typing their answers. Multi-named arrow. I love that. Multi-named arrow. We call it yellow, gold, chrome, I don't know what. So Soumitra just says multi-named arrow and he says that after king takes d5 it's e3, and bishop d6 check, winning the pawn. But will we reach that? Black has blundered a piece, but can we take the pawn? After e3, what happens? Does the bishop come back in time? So king takes d5, e3, bishop d6 check, king f7, bishop takes a3, e2, bishop b4. Just in time. Just in time. Yes, bishop b4 is just in time. So well done, the seniors. Absolutely right, and including Kunal. So the arrow is multicolored arrow. Kshitij Datta says yellow arrow, and Sanchit has just cancelled his message. Vihang doesn't bother typing what the name of the arrow is. He says, sir, you decide that. And he says king takes d4. Vihang, isn't that king takes d5, my dear? Vihang, king takes d4 or king takes d5? I think there's a typing error. Mohit is telling us now that the tournament is over. Wow, I even congratulated everybody. Thanks for the update, Mohit. That's awesome, man. It's awesome. Anyway, the correct arrow is king takes bishop, and now there is bishop check. We can take, now remember this is important because we can just take this pawn. He will do this, and bishop b4 just in time. Just in time. Now if the pawn would have proceeded, then bishop b4 taking control of the queening square, just in time. So congratulations to all those. Brilliant. The next position is white to play, guys. And here are your options. Do you want to make a flamboyant sacrifice? Do you want to make, but do you want to play the doubling of the rooks? Do you want to bring the rook back to b4? Or do you want to make another flamboyant sacrifice on h7? Or is it for the first time none of these? Start thinking, guys. Okay, the time's up, and again multi-named arrow. I guess now that in itself is the fifth name for that. Bishop takes h7, king takes h7, queen takes f8. If king h8, then queen takes f8, and then king takes h7. Is there any way of forced checkmate? I don't think so, but it can be looked as deflection. Welcome, Nijapkar. Isn't that your first chat? Nijapkar, what happened? Isn't that your first chat, my dear? Have you been with us for the entire lecture, or is it the first time that you're chatting? Nijapkar, let me know. By the way, Nijapkar, yesterday, well, all should give Nijapkar an applause. Super performance. 2124. That was your performance rating. And that was an incredible play yesterday by Samartha. Fantastic, Samartha. Everybody probably should give him a round of applause. This is just brilliant. Samartha Nijapkar, fantastic. Anybody else who wants to play classical time control with Kunal, let me know, because Vihang promised a game and now he's saying 3 plus 0. So anybody who wants to play with Kunal, a classical game, he wants a classical game. Anybody? Please type in the chat. Kunal wants to play a game. Nijapkar, are you free? Can you play with Kunal Gupta? Let me know. Datta, are you free? Okay. So scientific bishop, another word I got for that. Scientific bishop here. And I agree with that. So let's go ahead and do that. The king has taken it. So we have a free rook to take here. Is there any other tactic? No. That's it. Success. Absolutely brilliant. The point here is that Nijapkar was in a tournament. When our lecture was going on, why did you have... There are so many tournaments on leeches. Why do you want to play a tournament, Nijapkar, when our lecture is going on? That is funny. On leeches, there are always tournaments. Why do you want to play a tournament when our lecture is in progress? You can play later. You should not do this again. On leeches, there are hourly tournaments. How many tournaments do you want to play? And Sanchit, the point is Kunal Gupta wants to play. So if you are free to play a classical game, I just played a classical game. Kunal wants to play. Anybody volunteering for classical game with Kunal, please let me know in the chat. Okay. Kshitish Datta is clapping with some sanitizer in his hand. Datta, very nice. So Samartha gets sanitized claps. Samartha, you are lucky. You are getting sanitized claps. That's nice. So Sanchit, will you play with Kunal in a classical time control? Man, the next position is black to play, by the way. So it's black to play, not white to play. And your options are as follows. Is it just as simple as this fork? Is it that simple? Or is it where you want to take the rook? Is it where you want to sacrifice? Or is it the safe move, queen to g5, saving everything? Let me know, guys. Let me know. It's black to play here. Okay, the time is up. And what are our seniors saying? They are saying that the golden arrow or the multicolored arrow, someone is saying red, Itesh is saying green, Samarth is saying red, and mostly now everyone is going for that red arrow now. Also, Soumitra has given us an update that this is Wesley So, the game Wesley So versus Carlson, similar to that, and was shown by Simon Williams in one of the greatest forks. Okay, now we also have Kunal Gupta's ID. Kshitij, make a note of that. Type yes. Kshitij, not Kshitij, sorry, Sanchit. Kunal Gupta has typed his ID. So if you have made a note of that, you're going to play a classical game. Kunal Gupta without space 0232. That's the ID. So play with him. And by the way, Kshitij, let me tell you first why your answer is not all that perfect. Because if you play the green arrow as you like, you said, well, the rook is going to take our queen as well. But let's say if we follow the red arrow, we take the rook, we give a check, and after king takes Itesh, then we do get this royal fork because everything everywhere will be attacked. Okay, so queen takes, and now look at this fork, Itesh. That's why you will get the queen back, but we got the rook on d1. Don't forget that. There you go. So congratulations to all those who set the red arrow. And Soumitra, thank you so much for that Wesley So Carlson game. Wonderful. Kunal also noted that. Okay. Did Soumitra say that? Well, who said that? Well, 1 second. Am I giving the wrong credit? No, Soumitra gave the reference of that Wesley So game. Why is Datta saying I said red? Kshitij said red. Yeah, so I'm not doubting you got the answer. Maybe I said something else. I don't know. Next position and probably the last position for today. It is going to be black to play. Last position for today, guys. It is black to play. We are in check already. So do we want to play this move that the grandmasters will like, the blue arrow, or should we play this rook back to f8? Should we just calm and coolly block the check with the queen, or should we play this king to h7, or should we go ahead and play the move? I'm running out of arrows. I'm running out of arrows, guys. That's it. That's it. Only these 3 moves are possible. I don't know. So now this time your job has become that much easier. So let's replace the multicolored arrow with the red one, because now we have a name here. Now we don't have to go for multicolor. It is black to play. Last position for Okay, the time is up and the seniors are saying, and what are the seniors saying? Well, Nijapkar says that the green arrow will do the trick with the rook f8 check, and the rook f8 is blocking and also giving a check. Green arrow gets most votes. Datta is also saying the same, but he is not mentioned. Who has mentioned the arrow later? Swaroop C, hi, you've joined in so late. It's almost time to stop. Welcome, Swaroop C. Why so late, dear? We started at 6. Maybe you can join us tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Swaroop, hello. Unfortunately, it is time for us to almost stop, Swaroop. But you're welcome anyway. If possible, join us tomorrow at 6 to the lecture for the A batch. Meanwhile, the green one is the right answer here. Let me go to Leeches quickly to show you that. What's going to happen is that the green one will not just block the check, but will place him also in a check. And then whatever happens, rook takes g8, winning the queen. So this is a kind of an in-between move, and is Juisenjuk. Very important. Well, Sanchit is saying green arrow, rook f8 check, rook takes g8. Yes, Sanchit is also right, no doubt about that. So rook f8 is blocking it, and we win the queen here. Fantastic. Well, we are also missing out on other players like Suyash Kavle also. Rather Yevle, Suyash Yevle, not Kavle, Suyash Yevle from Pune. Saumitra's buddy from Pune. We are missing out on him, and we are missing out on Allison as well from a long time. And I hope Allison is fine. Maybe there must be some work, because I remember at the start when she started watching our streams, she used to mention that she doesn't find time to play chess on Leeches, the site. So I guess she must be either busy with some work or something like that. And we will stop for now. We will meet tomorrow at 6 o'clock. That's a lecture for the A batch. So there will be study games. And I'll start probably with the 4th game that was incomplete for the last session. And yes, tomorrow I will share some memories. It's that time again. So Kshitij, make sure that you are with us there, man. And we will definitely go through some old memories. Saumitra, you should also watch tomorrow's session, because I remember I have one pic of yours. I think that's when you were on and off in the hub, because you went to Pune, you were in Dombivli, so you were on and off. But I think I have a good snap. I'll share that tomorrow. We are going to talk about our exam memories, our clearance test memories tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. It will happen tomorrow. And what? So the point was that I don't want anybody to miss tomorrow's session. So hopefully you will be there. And by the way, Anglo-Indian boy, yeah, we are missing Anglo-Indian boy for his language other than English. He always types something that I don't understand. The Anglo-Indian boy, I don't know. But anyway, we'll stop for now. This was a great session, an hour and a half, maybe more than that. We'll bring this to an end. Stay home, stay safe. We'll meet tomorrow. Bye-bye.